The suspension on the cheapest V8 in the country needs to be done. In the previous video, I showed you the issues with the upper arms and also with the anti-roll bar links. But I'm a very lucky boy because Simply Performance Jaguar, they've sorted me out with lots and lots of goodies. Simply Performance are the guys that you want if you've got a Jaguar. Okay, so the main thing that we're looking at today is these upper arms. Oh, they look great, don't they? These have been reconditioned, and what you do is you buy these from Simply Performance Jaguar and you send back your upper arms and they give you some money back, which is brilliant because then they can rebush them. So I'll put a link to this in the description below. And we've also got the bumper vane that is needed for the front of this Jaguar. Anti-roll bar links, perfect. That's exactly what we need to replace our ones that are knocking. These are the bump stops for the rear. And we've also got normal nuts for this car because I cut off the locking ones. Simply Performance have everything that you need for your Jaguar, be it an X308 like mine, or a Jaguar XJ, and a lot more different Jaguar cars. This means that we get the great OEM quality that we need for our cars. And that's what I call a win. That was a bit cheesy, wasn't it? And so for anything that you need for your Jaguar cars, please do check out Simply Performance below in the description box. As you can see, my car is on the lift. If you don't have a lift, you'll have to jack it up properly and carefully and safely. And it's important to note before we get into the video that I'm not professional, so please don't take any advice as professional advice. So this here is the anti-roll bar link, the one that I was saying was moving around too much. There you go. Got to take off this one here and this one here. The bottom one is a 15mm and the top one is a 19. With your penetrating fluid, just give it a spritz. Just help to loosen it up a bit. This WD-40 is all I've got at the moment, but I will usually use penetrating fluid. There we go, there's the 19mm onto it and the breaker bar on it, and just lefty loosey it. And on the bottom the 15mm goes, and again just stick your breaker bar on it. It'll probably come off with a ratchet or whatever, but it's easier just to use the breaker bar and be done with it. Turns out on the opposite end there is a 13mm that you can hold, and that 15 will just spin off. This can go this way, but first I want to get the top off, which is a 19mm, but as with the bottom it is spinning, so you can actually put a spanner on here because there is a little cutout here. There we go. Out comes that one. The actual middle piece here that was part of the original bush come loose. That's supposed to go in there, so that's why it was banging around. Before I put this one on, I'm going to do the upper arm. As you can see, we've got to get this off, which is one big bolt that goes the whole way through with the head this side and then the nut this side and the nut underneath this ball joint here. I'm going to put a trolley jack underneath to hold up this lower arm so that when we let go of this ball joint, it won't shoot down. So it's ready to take the weight as soon as this one has been dropped. The next thing I'm going to do is put that like that because I want it to catch the disc when the hub falls towards me. So this is the ball joint here. Now I need to undo this nut. So let's spray it, and also going to spray these up here that we're going to be doing in a minute for the upper arm. And before I start, I'd like to cut off these zip ties here. Unclip this sensor here. I just want to move it out of the way. So we're onto an 18 here. So you can either try and hammer it, which seemed to work for that then. And so now the nut is off, we can put our ball joint separator on. That goes in here, just beneath the ball joint, with this little pointy bit here going up onto the stub of the bolt. You might just need to give it a couple of little knocks in with your mallet. So get your 19mm on top. The idea of this is that it just pinches onto the bottom and then forces it up and out. There is varying degrees of success with this kind of thing. Okay, that's nearly at its end and it hasn't popped out. You can get these prong things. I do have some on order, they haven't arrived yet. That is loosening it ever so slightly because I can now get it in a lot easier. I have finally got the ball joint off, honestly. I've been here 2 hours. Day before yesterday, I spent 3 hours on this ball joint, it wouldn't come off. So I ordered this. It's this kit here that comes with these prongs and stuff, look. And you jam it in here like that and you absolutely whack the hell out of it. This hammer did the job, just smacking it as hard as possible. Just in time for the MOT tomorrow. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna get that off. Okay, so we're now onto the home straight. Now that I've knocked this ball joint out, I'm going to take off this upper control arm. There's a bolt on this side, and then what you do is you hold the nut on this side and then you work against them. I think that one is a 24. It is indeed. I've also sprayed it with some penetrating fluid. We need to hold this. Off that nut comes. Oh, this bolt is a bit stuck. So if you're doing this job and your bolt gets stuck in the rubber, when I was pulling this left-hand side up, it was lifting the whole arm. So I thought, well, I'll work against it then. I'll make it too tight, kind of turn the bolt away so it got tighter and tighter and tighter, and then it went crack and now it's loose. So I should be able to get this out. But is it stuck on something? Because it feels like it might be. Yeah, it's just jammed on an electrical connection just up in behind here. So there is the thing that was in the way. So I've unclipped it from the top there, and then that should slide all the way out. That's that bolt out. So as you can see, this is the old one, pretty knackered. Look at that ball joint, absolutely mangled. Nothing left of that at all. This was the driver's side, which I did before shooting this video. As you can see, that one was also pretty mangled. The ball joint, not quite so much, but it was bent, or at least I bent it, or whichever way around. When you use Simply Performance Jaguar, you can take your old arms off and send those back for a bit of a rebate on the price of your new arms. They will then use some Lem Forward ball joints, so they have nice new ball joints, OEM, and some really high quality aftermarket bushes. That means that they can refurb those and then someone else can have your old arms and they'll look brand new. Just like this one from Simply Performance, looks really good. Fresh new bushes, look at that. And then of course, the new ball joint. So let's get it in. And then just time to grease up the bolt that went the whole way through. So the next person that does this job should have an easier time than I did. And then it's nice and simple, just kind of line it up. Yep, that's in and through the bush. Let's tighten that up. I think any kind of suspension is supposed to torque it when it's on the ground, so I'll do that. Just cleaning in here where the ball joint goes as well, because this is what's caused the issue I had earlier trying to get the ball joint out. This is the bit that's a little bit more difficult. Just got to press that down, get it to go right in there, at the right angle, and hold it all in place. The inside of the ball joint is spinning. I'm not even joking, that ball joint was being a right pain in the ass, and I've never had a problem like that before, so it took me a while to work out exactly how to do it. And this is the thing about cars, isn't it? You can work on cars all the time, and you'll come across a problem that you've not come across before. Then you go, how am I going to fix it? You work it out, and then you do it, and then next time, you know exactly what to do. And that's the thing, people like you will watch the video and be able to find out how to do these things and go, oh, I remember watching the video, and that's how Jamie did it. And that's why I make the video, guys. So please do remember to like the video if you haven't already, and please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you everybody that has subscribed so far, really appreciate it. Nearly at 2,000 subscribers. Really, really happy with that. Hopefully by Christmas. So yeah, I've used those, and they're extendable, as you can see. They were only just big enough, literally just pinching. And then, because I couldn't hold it with my right hand and then tighten with the spanner on my left here very easily, I had some of these clamps, and I clamped them right down so that it was continuously had pressure, and there you go. The bottom of the thread is now through the nut, so I'm really happy with that. That's tightened right up. So all I've got to do now is fit this here, the anti-roll bar link. That top one goes through. I'm having to actually screw it in rather than just push it in like I did the other side. So the 15 goes on that end, and then the 13 on the other. No longer moving about like it used to. And then this one here. So I'm gonna use my 18 on this here. So spin it around until your spanner goes over it. There we go. And that'll hold the thread in place then. And there's the anti-roll bar link on. Also got to remember to plug this back in, and then just cable tie it a couple of times along here. As mentioned, the other side, so I did that so that I knew exactly what I was doing before I told you guys. Now onto the rear, and for some of these stuck bolts here, some of you guys mentioned that I could actually hit it with a hammer, put a little dent in it, and then hammer it around with a screwdriver. Okay, so I've spent some time doing a little bit more on the rear bump stops, but I think I've done it wrong. I tried to drill them out, and I got it to a point where I've just like kind of shaved it. What happens now? Like everyone's like, oh, just keep drilling and keep drilling with bigger bits. What happens? Like, you just got to that, and that's the biggest bit I've got. Or have I just totally misinterpreted what I've got to do? Fortunately, I've actually read that rear bump stops don't stop you from getting an MOT. The MOT is literally in like less than 12 hours, so I want to make sure that I've done everything I need to do. Put the wheels back on, the front suspension's been done, and then just make sure it all starts and there's no fault codes showing, because I did take a few sensors out. And then the £600 Jaguar can then go for an MOT tomorrow. Okay, and one more thing I just noticed, this rear light doesn't work when I press the brakes, so we'll check that out when I get the car down. So the wheels are back on the car, and thanks to Simply Performance Jaguar specialists, I've got 4 of these new nuts, so I'm really happy about that. Having 4 new nuts has given me a new lease of life. Next is to get the car down and to just torque up all of these, and also torque up all of the suspension that we've played with. Okay, so all the wheels have been torqued up, as has all the suspension. It's quite difficult getting under there and really trying to do it because obviously the wheel's in the way. I noticed the passenger side tyre had gone down again, so I've just pumped that back up. This rear light is not working. So let's take that one out and swap them round. So I'm going to put this one in this one. All right, back in place he goes. If this one doesn't work, we know it's the bulb. Check lights, okay, let's have a look. There we go, simple, it's a bulb. So I'm gonna go and have a look and see if I got any bulbs. I'm not sure if I have. Ooh, coming into my little cupboard. We haven't got any bulbs. And Mark, on the topic of bulbs, you know what I'm talking about? You said you were gonna bring some like 8 months ago. And we haven't done that yet. Neither of us have. We're actually useless, aren't we? There's one more thing to do. I think it might have failed the MOT. It makes me really tanned, which is really nice because I've never tanned. Hello, wowzers. Nice and simple. This isn't a full mirror, it is literally just a stick-on. Screen wash is leaking out. I need to see whether it's still got some in there, enough that it can wash the screen. Yeah, it's got some. Right, bugger everything else. I think we're good to go. I almost forgot, I also need to just check the codes and clear any codes. ABS has got 2 faults. Left front wheel speed sensor and right front because I took them out. Got a few other jobs to do on it, of course, over time. I want to detail it, I want to really clean it up, I want to get rid of all the rubbish and the bottles of booze. And the headlining is sagging, so I'm planning to do that. See you tomorrow. Wish me luck. And so I shall end the video there. Thank you very much for watching the video today. Please do like the video if you found it helpful or if you found it entertaining, etc. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I want to hit 2,000 subscribers by Christmas and we're getting so close. Hopefully get an MOT tomorrow. And yeah, just look at it. Absolutely lovely. Please join me on the journey to get this XJ on the road. See you in the next video. Thank you very much. Have a good day.